host of the Gridiron.
Oh, yeah, you got to talk injuries, right? So, unfortunately, Bobby Okereke, I'm not exactly sure, if it's the scheme, Bowen's scheme is whereas Okereke, it was not as effective this season as he was last year under Wink's, defense. But, Okereke had a very nice season. It just wasn't what he had the year before. He seemed like he was everywhere. But his season's over. I got some injuries and moves, and of course, obviously the Giants injuries, right? But I got to find him here. All right, Bobby Okereke. Season is over. Giants place him and Patrick Johnson on IR. So obviously, you don't got to be a rocket scientist to figure out, right? You get put on the IR, you got to miss 4 games. Well, if you only got 3 games left in the season, you got to miss at least 4 games. Their season's over, right? I tell you what, I wonder, I'd love to see if Saleh would come in here. I mean, he did a really good job with the 49ers. I'm sure there's some good guys out there, but, I wonder if, Saleh, he's not going to the Jets or not like that. But nobody's going to hire him, I don't think, as a coach right off the bat. But I think, he did some really good things with the 49ers, their defense. That's the reason why he got the job with the Jets, or one of the reasons, with Bowen, his run defense was supposed to be good. Good in the red zone, but it's been a mixed bag with him. I'm not overly thrilled to death. We're still, even with Dexy in there and Burnsy and all that, we were still getting gashed and we got a Okereke running around. And you'd think we'd be making more tackles and our run defense would be better, but got 2 interceptions on the season. Right. Who would have guessed? Trey Hawkins is the only cornerback, defensive back that has an interception for the Giants. We played 14 seasons. We played 14 games. And we got 1 interception from a defensive back. That's horrible. That's horrible. As usual, on the day before a game, the Giants on Saturday announced a series of roster moves to fortify the roster before facing the Atlanta Falcons. Giants added linebacker Bobby Okereke and edge defender Patrick Johnson to their already overcrowded injured reserve list. Okereke, defensive captain, played every snap for the Giants last season. This is the first season in which he has missed a game since 2020. Giants are signing safety Raheem Layne to the 53-man roster from the practice squad. Greg Stroman, who did not practice this week due to a shoulder and shin injuries, did not travel to Atlanta with the team and has been ruled out. Giants are also elevating 2 players from their practice squad for the game. Edge Boogie Basham, right? Remember Boogie? And offensive tackle Tyree Phillips. There you go. Remember him, huh? Giants should also get cornerbacks Deonte Banks with a rib, Andrew Phillips with a shoulder back on Sunday. Banks has missed 3 games. Phillips has missed the last 2 games. We certainly missed those guys. Without question. Missed them big time. Let's see here. Whoops. Giants will head south to take on the Falcons, hoping to stop a 9-game slide. Okereke was ruled out for Week 16 on Friday as he deals with a back injury that has knocked him out of consecutive contests. He has not played since Thanksgiving Week 13 loss to the Cowboys. So that's all. It's a back. Let's hope. Now the thing is with obviously with the back, is it something I pull a muscle in my back? Is that what it is? Or are we talking the back, the spine, something, a disc or something knocked out of place or whatever? Could be either one. And hopefully it's just a muscle pull or something like that. You start messing around with that thing that runs up and down the inside of your back there, and it runs up and through your neck and all that. So certainly wish him nothing but the best. Hopefully, he'll take the season, obviously the rest of the season off, and he'll be ready to rock and roll next year when the new season rolls around. Let's see. Because all things considered with Okereke, right? He will finish with 2 fewer interceptions than he had last season. He'll finish with 56 fewer tackles than he had last season and 5 fewer tackles for loss. Part of that can be put on a switch on the sidelines. Defensive coordinator Shane Bowen took over for Wink Martindale as he turned the New York's unit into a less aggressive one. The results have stagnated across the board, with Bowen in danger of holding his job for just a single season. Well, that's possible. That is possible. I mean, there were certainly times, where you look at who we had out there. I mean, I'm not saying we were the greatest defense of all time, but you look at we put some good players out there, and we're not getting some very good results. It certainly makes you think, right? What you want to try to do is put your players in the best position to be successful. You want to put your players, use their strengths in their favor. Now, is Bowen doing that or no? Why are we still getting gashed in the running game and all that? Don't know. But, there's a possibility he could be bye-bye, right? I'll have to wait and see. That's another one of the moves that we'll have to wait and see. Ending this year on injury reserve is a fitting and given end the Giants' struggles to stay healthy. Left tackle Andrew Thomas, defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence, and guard John Runyon Jr. will all end the season with the same designation, and shorter absences have made life difficult in a lost season. Okereke has emerged as a safe bet to end the year on the injuries. Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. If nothing else, there's now more on the plates of linebackers Mike McFadden and Darius Mewis out for the final 3 games of the season. Then we got, all right, so we got the injury reports. Here we go. So we got, the Giants have like 812 guys listed. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got 5 guys who are questionable and 4 guys who are out. So Bernsey is questionable with an ankle and a neck. Deonte Banks is still questionable with a rib. He was limited in participation like all week long. So we'll have to wait and see about Banks. Then you got Tyrone Tracy, who's questionable with an ankle. He was limited in participation Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Deontay Johnson, he's questionable with an ankle. And Austin Schlotman, however you want to pronounce it, with a fibula, he's still questionable. And then, of course, the guys, Patrick Johnson, because don't forget we got the 2 Johnsons. We got Deontay Johnson, inside linebacker. And then we got Patrick Johnson, the outside linebacker. He's out with a knee. Patrick Johnson, Bobby Okereke, Aaron Stinney, and Greg Stroman did not participate at all, practice like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. They're all been ruled out. So Patrick Johnson, Bobby Okereke, Aaron Stinney, and Greg Stroman. There. So we got 4 guys ruled out. Of course, I said, then there was like Dane Belton was on here with a knee, Tommy DeVito with his concussion, Corey Durden with his shoulder, Cordell Flott with a quad and a finger, Art Green with a shoulder, Drew Lock with his heel and left elbow, Chris Manhurts with an ankle, Malik Neighbors with a knee and a foot. Now, once again, you got to give that dude all the credit in the world. He's been, for whatever reason, always dealing with some kind of something. And the guy goes out there and plays all the time. The only couple games he missed was because of concussion. He had to stay out for those. Nacho with a neck and shoulder. Drew Phillips, he had a shoulder. Wan'Dale Robinson, he had a shoulder. John Michael Schmitz, he had an ankle. But apparently none of those guys have game time designation. So apparently all those guys are good to go. But we got 5 guys who are questionable and 4 guys are ruled out. Now, of course, I mean, it's absolutely, hold on, let me count it. 1, 2, 3, 4. It was 21, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, 21. Johnny said 21 guys with some type of ailment. 21. Falcons have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Falcons got 9. Less than half of what the Giants have. It just absolutely freaking unbelievable. They got one guy, Casey Washington, with a concussion. He's out. Other than that, they got 2 guys who are questionable. So they got 1 guy out and 2 questionable. We got 4 out and 5 questionable. So they have 3 guys with game times designations. We got 9. We have 3 times the amount of guys listed with a game time as the other team. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And the thing is that, something you can look at, like with these injuries, is it's kind of like, a lot of say, is it the turf? Could be, but Atlanta plays on turf, right? Right? So it makes you wonder. It's every year. I mean, as I said, I how can the Giants go out there every year and just get totally decimated by injuries? And some of these other teams, and especially some of these other teams, I mean, I can see like with the Eagles, because they play on grass. Some of these other teams maybe play on grass. Well, maybe, but there's other teams out there that do play on turf that, are, stay relatively healthy. How do they do it? And how come the Giants can't? Absolutely unbelievable. So let's see here. I got, there we go. So real fast. Got tackle Caleb McCary. He was listed with an elbow, but he'll be playing. Hodge, their wide receiver, he's questionable. He has ribs. Ross Dwelly, going to say, their tight end. He has an ankle, but he looks like he's going to play. Charlie Werner, their tight end. He's going to play, but he had a quad injury. Casey Washington, as I said, he was ruled out with a concussion. Harris, their defensive lineman, he had illness and a problem with his neck, but he'll be playing. Lorenzo Carter, we remember him. He's questionable with a groin. Be interesting to see if he gets on the field, to see if he tries to get a sack or so against his former team. Safety Richie Grant, he had an illness, but he'll be good to go. And Drake London with a knee, but he's good to go. So once again, I mean, the Falcons are look like I'm pretty much a full cast of characters out there. So they'll be ready to rock and roll. So it's gonna be interesting to see. Very, very interesting to see, especially with with Penix out there. I said, not against the Giants, but I wish the dude all the best. I hope the guy can stay healthy. He seems like he's on a good team with a good offensive line. Now, of course, he's going to get hit. He's going to get sacked. It's part of the game. But, I think that maybe Atlanta might give him at least a better run for the money than if he was on the Giants team, where he's just going to get totally pummeled behind this offensive line. So I said, I wish the guy nothing but the best. I said, the league needs more quarterbacks, and so I hope he's one. I hope he's one of the answers. He's part of the solution. I hope he is. So.